Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ketchup Court. I go by the name of Hines, your friendly neighborhood ketchup man, and we are back for another catch up of the Donna Adelson trial. We are now in day 5, and to be honest, today was kind of a mixed bag for me because I honestly did not expect this much detail to be coming out of the trial. When I say detail, not necessarily in terms of the wiretaps that was continued from yesterday's witness, who goes by the name of Patrick Sandford, the special FBI agent that was overseeing the wiretapping, the undercover agent, etc. So even I felt that today was, I felt a little lost, and we are gonna go through all of that. But before we get into that, I just want to say hi to everyone that are here. Lexi and Lorna, welcome. Happy day before Friday. Almost there. We're almost there to the weekend. I am glad that you are here, and I'm happy for everyone that are here as well, that are lurking in the in the chat. In the stream, do say hi. Let me know how you're feeling. Also, the replay crew, if you're watching this back on replay, let me know how you're feeling. Let's give a quick recap on the case for those that may have missed day 4 or they just joining for the first time. Donna Adelson is facing charges for a murder to hire plot of the killing of her son-in-law, Dan Markel. The killing happened on the 18th of July 2014, and this was in the middle of a contentious divorce that was happening. So there's a lot that has been going on. There's a lot of evidence that has been presented to show Donna's culpability. There have been other this trial has been going on for a long time, and there have been other convictions for the hitmen, especially Louis Rivera was the first one to be convicted. Then you had Sigfredo Garcia. I believe he just recently got convicted. Maybe, I don't know the name, but the date. But he was convicted. Then Kathryn was also convicted. Then what is it called? Charlie Adelson. Charlie Adelson was also convicted for his part in hiring the hitman, etc. All of those things. I don't know any of the details for this case. I'm watching it brand new. I just know that these things has happened, but the facts of the case and why they were convicted, whether it was right or wrong, blah 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 blah, I have no idea. But if you do want to watch the Charlie Adelson trial, make sure you check out the description. 2 great channels that have covered that trial. The trial channel has covered the Charlie Adelson trial, and it's also covering the Donna Adelson trial. You can get the full recaps. She does an amazing job in collating all that. But at the moment, Publicly Buzzed is covering it on his Murder Church series. Definitely go and check that out. It's all in the description. But that's kind of the background of the case. Now let's go to day 4. You can watch the full in-depth breakdown of the day 4 witnesses, because there were 6. There were 6 witnesses in total that had testified on day 4. Christopher Corbett was one of the witnesses. He was the data analyst. He went through the communications, the cell towers, locations, all of those things to show everyone's movements when it came to the week of the murder and the day of the murder and after the murder, how everyone knew each other, the communications leading up to the murder. We got to learn from that day how everyone were in the house. They got the details from Dan Markel going, letting them know that he'll be going to the gym from this time, from 9 o'clock. He said 9:30 on the voicemail to 10:30. So at those times he will be at the gym. He told that to Wendi Adelson, who also gave testimony in this trial, but nonetheless, he gave those details up, and subsequently he died after that. So communications like that, all of those things happened on day 4. Then we had the undercover FBI agent come to give testimony in the role that he played. He said that he was commissioned to be a gangster. That and that's basically the role that he played. Louise Bronstein, who was an FBI special agent, came in to explain what they had essentially done, and the idea behind the whole investigation and going undercover was to say that they had spoken to an inmate who knows Katie. So that inmate that was incarcerated, that was the main idea for the bump. Basically, the bump that is supposed to be the event that cascaded everything, basically. Then we heard from James McCavlin, who was the forensic scientist. He was nothing really much come out from it, just the editing of the audio, compressing it so that the background sounds could be reduced from all of the investigations during the wiretap, from all the collection of the sound or the sound, the video, all of that. So he was basically testifying to that. Then Brian Kendall was the police officer that went in and was recording the Adelsons when they were meeting up at one point, and he basically said that they got discovered at this point, that they knew that they were onto him, basically. So, and then we had Patrick Sandford, who is also testifying today, but he testified yesterday on the direct exam in regards to the wiretap that they were collecting of Charlie Garcia, Kathryn, and Donna. So they done all those wiretaps, and when the bump had happened, the wildest thing that came out yesterday, and we went through it all. The wildest thing that came out yesterday was her saying that the TV that we all knew, that famous TV repair, normal moms repairing TVs, all those things. The TV cost $5,000. So this coincidentally happens to be the same amount that she's being charged, or the extortion, the blackmail is being made for $5,000. So that was the main highlight, in my opinion, from yesterday, where she reported to Charlie that the TV repair people are back, and they want $5,000 for the cost of the TV repairs. 2 years after the fact, by the way, 2 years. So now today was just one witness that testified, and it was just a continuation of Patrick Sandford's testimony. He continued to detail the wiretaps, and I believe these wiretaps, the date that he was covering, because the bump happened, I believe, on the 29th of March. I believe it was around that time. So this was around April, when they have all gone on to live their normal lives. Well, not live their normal lives, but trying to react to this particular bump. Thank you so much, Trial Channel. I see you in the chat. If you do like the stream, everyone. Let everyone knows it does help out with the YouTube algorithm. It does help out a lot. We're trying to grow here. We're trying to grow. Ruth Ann, I appreciate you for tuning back in. Well, welcome. So let's go into today. Like I said, there was a lot of wiretaps being played, and I will admit, because of the code words, etc., you can get lost in it. And I will say that there was an inference on the opening arguments that Charlie Adelson was trying to, well, at least they were colluding together to try and kill the blackmailer. So where they were speaking in code a lot and speaking to so many people, I at one point inferred that they were actually going through this, but apparently that's not the case. They were not trying to do that. So I wonder why. I mean, I don't know. I wonder why that was said on the in the opening statements. Maybe it was just something for the jury to just infer from all of this, that they were doing all they can. They were basically scrambling, but that didn't that they were not actually trying to get the they were not actually trying to get the undercover agents killed, basically. So the way that this witness started off the day was going through the communications between Charlie and Donna about her dating life, and saying that this will bring her so much stress because she just needs to go on living her life. Basically saying that we can't let her know or anything like. At least that's what I inferred from it, because they were speaking in code, as this was during the time of the wiretap. They were all speaking in code, so I can imagine that they were saying or discussing, or the topic being about relationship life and things like that, because they know that the relationship between Charlie and Kathryn is the subject, is what the undercover agent knows. So when they were speaking and mentioning Wendy's life, they were also talking that that Charlie had asked Wendi to become a guidance counselor and was encouraging her to take the job as a guidance counselor. I was wondering what this means, but I thought a guidance counselor in Miami. I was like, that's a bit of a career change. Like, she's an attorney. Why would you need to be a guidance counselor? Maybe that's gonna make sense later on, but I narrowed it down because I thought that was a bit different. Like I said, if don't actually, I don't want to be spoiled. I was gonna say, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, because some people have known this case or have followed this case, and maybe some people are watching to see someone with fresh eyes come into it and give their opinions. So if I am completely off base, don't let me know. Let me learn it myself. Let me learn it myself as I'm going on, so that I can see how off base I am. But that was the gist of what I was getting, when I was going through this. So after the discussion with Charlie and Donna in regards to the relationship with Wendi, etc., they went on. Charlie goes from here to speak to Kathryn to speak to Kathryn at a restaurant, to basically let her know what had happened in regards to the bump, in regards to Donna finding out about KE and Tutor, all of that. So they went to the restaurant. I'll be honest, a lot of the audio was really unintelligible, so I didn't really glean much. But especially from especially from KE Mac's position and where she was, you couldn't really hear what she was saying, but you can kind of make out what the back and forth would have been like based on what Charlie was saying, because he could be heard where he was saying. So I believe they were discussing about how KE was receiving money from the Adelson Institute, and maybe that was going to come to an end. Charlie is also heard saying that he will that he will give 10K as he that he has called from someone he doesn't know, and he's willing to give something up to the amount of 10K. I didn't really. This is where I thought maybe they were trying to get rid of the blackmailer. Maybe they were discussing that, or maybe Charlie was just panicking because he knows that KE's name has been invoked in this. Charlie also says that that the name sounds familiar to someone who is incarcerated. He does know this person, and that they are going to give him some sound charity, and they shouldn't contact him or his friends, or they will go to the police. And if it happens again, they're going to bring the police into it. At this point, they were thinking, well, at least I thought they were speaking in code, because end of the day, he's referencing the bump that the police was that the undercover agent had told Donna about. And not just that, him saying, I'll give him sound charity, and they're gonna bring the police into it if he comes back, if he contacts. I personally inferred that this probably meant that he was gonna escalate it. Because I was just trying to figure out how they were speaking. I don't think at this point he doesn't really know what's going on. He doesn't really know if they're being watched by the cops, or it's a legit blackmailer. So it was very hard to make out what he was saying. But you can tell, at least from my point of view, they had an idea that this could be a police operation. So they all went into code immediately. They all started speaking in code. What this revealed to me is that they've been doing this since 2014. So they were always speaking in code back then. TV, all of those things, we already saw that yesterday. So they're just continuing that, even though they're not speaking on the phone. So the code language was offline and online, or in this case, away from the phone and on the phone. So Charlie also could be her saying that he wants to make the problem go away. Charlie's was also saying that Kathryn, that Kathryn, Charlie was also her saying to Kathryn that he wants to kill him, because it will be a big problem if he F's with his family. And this was the part that I thought maybe this was what the prosecution was referring to in their opening statements. You see what I mean? You see what I mean about the audio? If it wasn't for the transcript, I wouldn't have been able to follow this. Okay. Well, I think Charlie is just acting like a tough guy. So from what I gathered here, he was saying that he wants to kill him, etc. And Charlie was also saying that the car that they want to get to kill this blackmailer and should not be meeting his mom. And I thought that this part, let me just go to it, because this part was interesting. Yes. Hold up. Let me go. Let me go back again. I will try and follow it, but it was here. Like I'm gonna. It was okay. So here, he says that the mom had looked guilty as hell. That if the blackmailer talks, that the mom cannot speak with the blackmailer because the mom looks guilty as hell. Let me. I'm trying. I had the timestamp down, but can't really find it. Like, but they were talking. It was around here. But anyway, trust me, bro. Source. Literally, the mom. He was saying that the mom looks guilty as hell. That she shouldn't be brought into it. Charlie also says to Katie, if you're blackmailing someone, that you're prepared to be met by a mole, saying that these are the big boys. So this is, yeah, maybe he's acting like a tough guy. I don't like. I have seen him make references like I'm that white boy. I'm a poor white boy, or something like that. Willis ain't got nothing on me or something like that. So he has that personality to just be that cringy kind of character. But anyway, so there was something that the prosecution highlighted that from this conversation that I think many missed.
Had been used in this murder at the samples. Did you hear Mr. Adelson offer some rental car examples in this recording?
I did.
Was it public knowledge that a rental car had been used in this murder at that time?
No, it was only released that a green Prius. We were looking for a green Prius.
Did you ever hear either of the parties in this recording say Sigfredo Garcia?
No, did not.
Was he referenced in this recording?
Was he referenced?
Yeah. Who did they mean? He would be happy I have you on salary.
Yes, that's who they were referencing that particular moment.
No bad. He doesn't have any bad feelings toward me, does he? With that reference, Garcia.
That's correct.
Did the surveillance that was being conducted around this time shed any light on the relationship between Kathryn Magbano and Sigfredo Garcia at this time?
Yes, at this time they were actually back together and they were living together in a house with their children, or condo.
Is the word extortion used in this recording?
No.
Okay, what about blackmail?
Yes.
All right, tell us about the next call, please. Call F.
So what that tells me, that's interesting because I never actually knew. I never actually knew that they actually got back together before this. I have always thought, based on the evidence that's come out so far, I've always thought when they broken up, that was it. They gone on. She was still getting paid and all of those things, and they just gone on. But apparently they were dating at this point as well, which kind of makes sense because of the way that they were talking on this wiretap. But the next part, after the meeting with Kathryn, Charlie goes on to discuss with Donna some of what was discussed on April 20th, 2016. That was the meeting with that was the day of the meeting with Kathryn. And on this meeting, he mentioned, and this is how you can tell that it was Kathryn that they're referencing, that they mentioned having coffee with a friend, giving him relationship advice. So that references the ex-girlfriend because they kept talking about ex-girlfriend in the previous stream. Remember day 4, they kept saying Charlie and Katie were saying that the person that did the bump, the undercover agent, had mentioned one of the ex-girlfriends when it was only Katie. So now we get the idea that whenever they mention relationship and girlfriends, that they're referring to Katie. So Charlie also mentions Charlie calls again, calls Donna again, and mentions that the friend is going to that the friend is going to his office. This was the first time. Well, as we go on to learn, we are going to learn that these guys were also talking on WhatsApp, likely through encryption service that they offer, because they have always offered encryption chatting and non-encryption chatting. I use WhatsApp here. It's very popular in the UK. Has been in that since that time. I know a lot about the app is basically what I'm trying to say. So the investigators are going to, they said that they had trouble tracking them sometimes because they would go to different locations and they will say one thing on the phone, but they will also put into the WhatsApp to go meet at a different locations. But it's gonna make sense as we go on. The next day, on the 21st of April 2016 at 8:17 a.m., Kathryn speaks with Sigfredo Garcia, referencing the number of the undercover agent to try. I thought it was to try and get him killed, but this wasn't the case. This was to try and figure out who the undercover agent was, and then asking him to call that number and try to verify who that number was. So the same day, another call was made. Another call was made to Kathryn to Garcia to also to give this number over. Basically, can't be stopped. Welcome to the chat. I see you. I find it funny that people can pay $100K to kill a man, but can't afford $600 Walmart TV. Hey, it didn't cost $600 anymore. It cost $5,000 now. $5K. 2 years after. 2 years. Took 2 years to raise the prices. Inflation. Trump also got in office in 2016. So you can see how inflation has risen so quickly, So there it is. I'm not political, so don't come at me. So like I said, another call was made on the same day from Kathryn to Garcia, and they had given the number, and Kathryn had given the number that the agent had given, but it was done as if it was a monetary exchange. So Charlie speaks with Kathryn regarding the blackmail, saying that he doesn't want to pay the money. Again, they were speaking in code talk. They were speaking in code talk, and they were using the analogy of buying a property, saying that he doesn't want to buy this property basically because the money the value is going to keep going higher and higher and higher. So he just wants to find the leads for the property, find the sellers for the property, find, at this point, again, because of that opening statement, I was thinking he was trying to find people to hit or to go after the blackmailers, but putting it into perspective of trying to figure out who this person is without giving away information that they had done the hit in 2014, it would make sense that this means you should call Sigfredo, Sigfredo and find out who is doing this and who could be this family member that is after them. So so at this point, Kathryn discloses that she had called others to see if this person was the real deal before she could make any payments. So yeah, so Kathryn then says that she would make the phone call to figure out what was going on. Send me an email, because that would be that is, send me an email. My email is on the channel. We will sort something out for when the verdict is done. I usually do these recaps without a back and forth discussion. So, but we can talk about it after the verdict is here, and then we can discuss the case. So yeah, yeah. So continuing on, Charlie and Donna discusses setting up a dinner to discuss the person that had blackmailed him. So so at this point, Harvey is also involved in this dinner. All three of them went to the dinner that was set up with the undercover agent. And this is when it really got interesting, because it led me to a lot of questions, and I had a lot of questions, but this was the let's listen to some of the things that was said on the dinner. Actually, one more thing. I just remembered, this dinner was not audible. Sorry, I don't know why. Anyway, I just remember why I went here. It wasn't audible, but I went here because you can't really see the people that are there, but you can see Charlie clearly, and you can see you can't see the undercover agent, but he's there. The one thing that popped into my mind is maybe this is why the undercover agent was subject to recall, so that when they have to put on their case in chief, they can ask him questions around this event and remove Donna completely, and try to remove, because you can't even see if Donna is here, you can't even see if Harvey is here, and something that has not been introduced yet, because they had already got through their communication experts. So maybe they're saving him for last. Maybe, I don't know, trial strategy. Maybe that's what they're doing. But if they do recall this witness, they might have the fact that their cell towers may not have been entered into evidence. Donna's cell towers that would point to this restaurant. Harvey's, well, not Harvey, but Donna. We know that Charlie is here, but Donna is not here. At least from the eye test, she's not here. And Mr. Corbett, Christopher Corbett, who was this cell analyst, the data analyst, he didn't give the locations for 2016. He only gave it for 2014. So I don't know if they're gonna bring him back as a rebuttal witness if they do call this witness. But that's the play that I'm kind of seeing here. Like maybe they're trying to reserve that bit of information for later if something does happen that the defense are to call this witness. But most likely, if they do call him back without worrying about the location or trying to remove him, maybe it's to attack his credibility, to say that what was said, or to go through what the dinner was like, etc. But yeah, like I said, nothing much could be made out from the dinner meeting because it was just inaudible. So after this dinner, we got to hear about another bump event that had happened. Let's take a listen.
Along with the envelope to the Adelson residence.
Moving to evidence, State City Court.
So this was on the 23rd of April 2016 when the undercover agent had sent a letter to Donna Adelson.
Can you read what the letter said?
Yes. It says, "My phone is not ringing, so you don't care about Tato and what he did for you. He knows he is fucked, and soon so will you."
All right, so at this point in time where we are in the wire, that's when the letter was mailed, or that's when the letter was received?
It was mailed, I believe, on the 23rd.
Yeah, okay. And then I want to skip ahead to April 25th of 2016. Tell us about call M.
It's a call from Charles Adelson to Kathryn McBanoa at 7:04 p.m.
published. Call M, please.
So I'm not gonna go through all the call because it wasn't really much to glean from in terms of key information, but it was just to show that that there was communication to inform from Charlie to inform Kathryn about whatever meeting that they had with the undercover agent, with the parents, with Harvey and Donna, and it was also to show that it was also to on this communication, it was also revealed that Kathryn had said to Charlie, message me on WhatsApp. So that's where the WhatsApp information comes from, that we know that they were actually talking outside on other apps anyway, I should say, rather than messages or voice messages, etc. So Charlie, so after that, he says, so after that, they were trying on the same day, because they were planning to on the same day Charlie and Kathryn were planning to meet at a restaurant. This was the same 25th. They were planning to meet at a restaurant to go through it. So on that call, they said it was a restaurant, and then when the police tried to trace that call to the restaurant, he wasn't there, and that's when they realized that they actually went to another location, and they met up there. So at this point, this is when I believe this is why I actually believe they brought in the FBI agent yesterday on day 4. Sorry, not FBI agent, but the police officer that went into the restaurant with Harvey and Donna Adelson to basically Harvey and Charlie Adelson, Harvey and Charlie, Brian Kendall. He went to that restaurant and he said that they realized them that they know who he was, so they know that they were being watched. So this testimony right here, at least the events of this day where he said that where they have him on wiretap saying that he's going to meet Kathryn, they have him all of that on wiretap. They have him saying, meet me here, etc. But that didn't happen because they were meeting at a different location, and they didn't know what that location was because they were speaking on WhatsApp. So even though they have Charlie on WhatsApp saying I'm here at this location, he was clearly meeting her at a completely different location. So moving on. So after that, we get the idea that they know that they're onto him. So Charlie speaks with Donna at 10:48 p.m. the same day, 25th of April, after meeting with Kathryn at Monty's restaurant, and they were discussing about what to do with this particular blackmail, and Charlie had also discussed the details of his meeting with Kathryn. So after this, Charlie also discusses Charlie and Donna at this same point discusses meeting at Wendy's place with Harvey Adelson. I hope you're following because the way that the wiretaps were going, could be hard to actually keep up with what's going on. But the movement that day is Charlie, Donna, and Harvey had met up. So even though Charlie figured it out, he still couldn't help himself and kept talking on the phone calls. I agree. So at one point, Donna speaks with June Umchida, who I believe we heard from her on day 3, if I'm not mistaken. We heard testimony from her in regards to Charlie's behaviors, him acting frantic, there was money around, etc. So to me, now that we hear his wiretaps, it could give the impression that they knew that a case was coming, that they knew that they were being watched at this point. So I believe that's the context here, because you can hear Donna in the background speaking while Charlie was calling June Umchida. So Kathryn speaks with Garcia the next day. So this was kind of going back. So they went back. This wasn't the next day of the 25th, but this was going back to the 23rd of April, when they had already spoke with Garcia, with Sigfredo Garcia on the 21st. So after speaking with Charlie regarding the conversations with Sigfredo Garcia, and giving and Charlie giving the number to, and Charlie talking about the relationship issues and the blackmail needing to be taken care of, all of that. We got to hear the wiretap conversation between let me try and find it, between Charlie between I just lost my place, sorry. Hold on, bear with me, guys. Sorry, yeah. So like I said, Kathryn speaks with Garcia on the 24th of April 2016 in the morning. This was after the 23rd with all of and after this call, Charlie speaks with Donna at 2. So let me go to that timestamp. This is what I was looking for. Let's go.
But I know yourself all worked up and all fucking crazy, and it's that has to stop. I mean, I really don't want to,
Okay. Well, I just have to talk to you, didn't
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't that important that I contact you?
No, I know, but that's not going to work. I know.
Well, he said he was, but after we spoke last night, and then he never went to bed. That was the problem.
Oh, the thing is, you get yourselves all worked up.
I know.
And it's always, I'm just saying, it's always, you're getting a little better, but I'm just saying, it's always, all worked up. And it's,
I'm trying.
I know where it's
Not good.
Well, I know, but I mean,
I
maybe.
understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying.
And you don't realize, like, you probably watch too many movies.
Probably.
It's not like, yeah, we get one of them and then the other one will start paying. Like, the stupidest thing I've heard doesn't work like that.
Okay. You told me over here too, I know. I understand what you said. And I got it. I thought it was I'm sure we could better do it. Before Sunday.
Well, that's great, but I'm just saying, it's not like, there's nothing there, there's nothing,
To be concerned.
no, I mean, there really isn't. I mean, listen, someone wants to bother your nonsense with threats. I mean, it's not uncommon. And it's, when you get nonsense with threats, I mean, first of all, they don't give you a number. I mean, everything is so traceable. It doesn't, billion years. I mean, especially any electronics is extremely traceable. The other thing is this, is that, I'll let you know, people, if someone doesn't want you to know what they look like, they wear a hat, they wear glasses, they put on a beard,
Well,
they could listen, for $5 at the costume store, you can buy an Abraham Lincoln beard. You put that on.
yeah.
And wear glasses and a hat like everybody else on South Beach, because it's really.
So the reason why I went here is to show that they knew ahead of time. So that's why the prosecution went the way that they did, because this was back before they were trying to meet with Kathryn. So this was before that whole WhatsApp thing that we were going through. So the prosecution here is kind of going back in time to kind of give you the context that they had already figured out that they're being followed, that they're being watched, and they were trying to do everything to kind of put them off the scent. And I let's just be real. Let's just be real. I mean, just because you know that you're being watched and there's nothing, I don't think anything incriminating. Let me not get ahead of myself. Let me continue on because there's still quite a bit to go. But at this point, we know that they know that they're onto her, that the government is onto them. So after this, he calls Kathryn. He speaks with Kathryn at 4:33 p.m. This was still the same day on the 24th. Is just relaying everything back that he spoke to Donna about. Then she calls Donna. Then Charlie calls Donna again. He mentions that the number he was speaking with Kathryn, and asked if she wrote it down. He said no. So that number that was given to them by the undercover agent, she says it wasn't written down, which in my opinion was code for I don't have it, or no, it was just in a way to try and get the scent of Donna, basically. At this point, that's what I thought was going on. Then Charlie also calls Kathryn, relaying the info that he received from Donna, informing her that she didn't have that number written down. But we saw the number that was already given. The number that was already given to it's the same number that was given to Garcia, etc. That's what came out in this calls. Then Kathryn calls Garcia at 5 p.m., passing on the details given by Charlie to given by Charlie. So this point, the prosecution had stopped and highlighted that nobody had actually called that number, but they were saying here that they actually called that number. So the prosecution went back to the dinner that was with the undercover agent. I don't know. Again, it was inaudible, so I didn't really know what was going on during this part. I didn't really know what was being said, but they went back to it was, in my opinion, it was to show the flow and the context behind it, and to show why the previous officer Brian Kendall had said that they had figured out who they were, and they had figured out that they were onto them. So I believe they were showing that this was that moment that they had figured it out. So yeah, that's what I believe that they're trying to get at this particular moment on the 25th of April was when they know that the police were onto them. So on the 27th of April 2016, Charlie calls Kathryn, speaking code to go and well, I assume kill the blackmailer, but that's not exactly what happened. But essentially, but they were speaking in code again, saying, "We have a problem. I want it flushed. When you're in a bathroom and you have a problem, you either flush it or you let it or you let it there." So he says, "I want the problem flushed." So all of this point, I believe this is what the prosecution were trying to angle, that they realized that they were onto them. So they were like, okay, let's try and make it seem like we want him dead or something like that, but nothing really happens, and they were speaking in code. They were speaking in code to like try and make it seem like all the other times that they were I don't know, I was trying to keep up. All the other times that they were speaking in code, like the TV, etc., that those were just how they talk, and exaggeration. I don't know. I felt like this was I felt like the code attempt was was horrible, like in my opinion. But anyway, moving on. Another call was played where of the conversation with Charlie and Kathryn, where he asked if the problem was flushed, and he also mentions that he has a gift card for her at a store. Obviously, if you do the job, you get your reward. This is why I believe in the opening statement that the prosecution said that they were planning to kill the to kill the undercover agent. So at this point, something really happened, because Garcia had actually called the Adelson's Institute to leave a message asking for the paperwork. Let me try and I believe. Hold up, 1 second. Let me try and find the right timestamp, because there is a lot here. There was a lot to follow, but anyway, yeah. So right there, found it. Okay, there we go. So Garcia, after all of that, after the back and forth with Charlie and Donna, letting so on the 27th, Charlie and Donna going back and forth at from 11 to 27 p.m. So this must have been on the 28th of April. So at this point, Garcia calls the Adelson Institute and says that he has left the paperwork, which is code for exchange of, well, ordering the hit, basically.
Within 20 minutes of this call, do we have a call between Charlie Adelson and Donna Adelson?
Yes, we do.
All right, publish call Z, please.
Morning, Charlie.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, are you in an office or home?
No, I'm driving to an office now. What's up?
Well, Erica called me this morning, and because Dad is on the road to the office, but Erica called me and she said, didn't want me to bother you with this. She said, I don't know if it's a bad call or what, but somebody called this morning and he said his name was Sammy, and he gave you some very important papers last week and he hasn't heard from you. And he wants you to call him back, and here's the number. So,
Okay.
I want to verify the number was the correct number that I told you about. So, obviously I'm not going to call the number. Erica said, did you get the sales call? Just hit star 67 before you call the number, and then you won't know the number you're calling from. I said, oh, okay, all right, that's it. What's your suggestion?
The odd thing is this, is that that's the same number you gave me, right?
I don't know, because I gave you the number. I never kept it. You kept it.
Tell me what the number was.
305
Right.
712
Right.
6570.
6570.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's so much. The odd thing is this. 712 6570. Yeah, that's the same number. And it was called, no one picked up.
Maybe that's because no.
Okay, so someone called today?
You called the office, and Erica called me. She said, I hope I'm not bothering you. It's probably a sales call.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you something. I'm looking into it right now.
Yeah, I think that you were. I
And
just wanted to verify the number.
I know, and that's the odd thing is we think the number will be picked up. I mean,
You'll pick it up.
so let me do this. Let me call somebody,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't mark trust her, I tell you. I wouldn't worry at all.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to
And I'll
tell you.
tell you why, especially because, what do you call it? Especially because I know you know who it is. So let me call someone and take care of it now, okay?
Thank you, Sharon.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so from what I understood of that, actually, sorry.
And at the conclusion of this call, does Charlie Adelson attempt to call Kathryn Magbanua?
He does.
What happens?
He goes to her voicemail.
Okay, does he leave a message?
I don't recall. I don't believe he did.
Let's listen to AA, please.
So, so let's continue. Let's actually hear what she says.
I mean, sorry.
But I wanted to go there because all of this, at least from my understanding, all of this shows that Donna has an idea that there is someone out there, that there is someone out there that did do the hit, and it does lead back to Kathryn, and it does, at least from trying to understand with this whole, with how they are handling it, speaking in code, all of those things, that someone did carry out a hit, and the person that carried out the hit is a person that called the institute saying. So all of this, from my understanding, was to show that they were trying to figure out without letting go of their location, etc., exactly who was the one that carried out the hit, and they were trying to figure out whether this person could have been related to Louis Rivera, etc., and who is potentially making that blackmail. So when Garcia called the institute to let them know exactly all those things, that's when they realized, oh yeah, they are onto us, because he clearly knows who Louis is. So he calls back to, so Charlie now calls Kathryn and relays what was given to Donna in regards to the paperwork. He relays the same number to Donna, sorry, not to Donna, relays the same number, Charlie relays the same number to Kathryn, and it's from there. They were saying that they called in the number, but no one picked up. So that was to give you the code that it actually, no one was actually called, because we heard testimony from Patrick Sandford that no one had called that number, and there's more to come in regards to this. But that same day, after calling Kathryn, Charlie calls back Donna, giving the number again to Donna and saying that they are being closely watched. He says that someone is trying to stir the pot and see what comes out, and says that they are fine, they have done nothing wrong, etc. So they definitely know. I have so many thoughts. I will reserve it to. I will reserve my final thoughts to him. But at this point they know that they're being watched for definite, because they know that the person that carried out the hit is now responding to them, saying no, like I don't know this person, basically. Charlie calls the blackmailer and said that Sammy called. So Charlie calls the blackmailer and said that Sammy called, and this call was on the 28th of April. So the 27th, they done all of that. The 28th, he calls the blackmailer, the undercover agent. Let's go and listen to that call really, really quickly. Let me just get that timestamp. There we go.
In reference to what now? Someone by the name of Sandy call? Yeah, that's me now. What's going on? Well, what's going on? My brother's doctor. Okay, my brother's doctor has not been taken care of. The family's not been taken care of. I talked to thankless doctor. Why are you calling me? Who are you? I gave the number to a lady. I don't know Taco. You don't know Taco? I'm not sure you know Katie and Dugan. They've been taken care of since the family problem was taken care of up north.
I don't know who you are.
You don't? Well, this is going away, my friend. Because let me tell you something. I was a driver with Apple, and he told me the whole story. He told me nobody was taking care of him, nobody was taking care of his family. The family was taking care of Katie and Tuco, and nothing's been taken care of without them. So we know what's going on. And that's what needs to be taken care of, do the right thing. The lady already heard the paperwork, she knows what I'm talking about. We know Katie, we know Tuco, we know we've been taken care of.
Let me look at it.
No more fucking around, man. No more fucking around. This ain't going away. That's what you guys need to do the right thing for Kathryn. That's my brother, man. That's my brother, and he needs to be taken care of. His family needs to be taken care of, just like Katie and people have been taken care of.
I've never met these people, but let me call you back, okay?
That's bullshit, man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know this lady. I don't know your relationship with this lady, but we know what the fuck is going on. This ain't going that way. Take care of Kathryn just like you take care of Katie and people, man.
All right, so in that call, or just prior to that call, did Charlie Adelson hit star 67 in an effort to camouflage his number?
He did.
All right, and then when he hangs up from the undercover, who's the first person he calls?
Kathryn McBanwell.
How many calls does he make to her?
At least 3 that I recall.
All right, and does she eventually call back?
She does.
Is that our call GG?
It is. Yes, ma'am.
Publish GG, please.
So I just want to go there because that's the one time. So if you go back to the testimony that we heard from Patrick Sandford when he came onto the stand, he said that he received a call from he said he received a call from Garcia, he received a call from Donna, and he also received a call from Charlie. So these are the sequence of events in regarding to those calls. We know that Garcia, so the Garcia, of course, he had to call and pass the message on to Donna to say that no one had picked up. He had to pass the message on that he received the number, etc. So I believe that was the communication between Garcia and the agent. Then Charlie calling. So we now covered Charlie calling the undercover agent, and he basically says, I don't know who is this person, what's going on, etc. I actually felt like his call was more, his call kind of implicates him a lot more because he does clearly know what's going on. You can tell by the inflection in his voice, by his tone, that he does have a pretty good idea what's going on. So that's what I personally think. He calls Kathryn, as he said, 3 times. There was no response, and then he got through and he relays the information that was given to the that was given from the undercover detective, and he also mentions giving the money to Kathryn and the number that they called. So let me go to that actually.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Huh?
Can you give me 2 minutes? Hang on 1 second. I called the number. Mm-hmm. It rang like 7 or 8 times, and then somebody picked up. And it sounded like he goes, who is this? And I said, I'm returning the call. And he's like, what is this in reference to? So the guy that called my office this morning said, this is Simon. So I said, someone by the name of Simon placed the call this morning. And I go, I go, what's this about? He's like, who are you? I go, that's not important. Well, what do you need? You there?
Yeah.
So I said, it's not important who I am. I said, what can I do to help you out? I said, what do you need? And he said, listen, man. He's like, Tuco, or whatever the fuck his name is. He's like, someone did a really big favor for you and was there for you. And we know, and I'm Tuco's brother. And I was with him in Broward. So I don't know if this guy's in Broward or whatever. He's like, I was with him down in Broward. And he hasn't been taken care of. His family hasn't been taken care of. And he's like, it's fucking bullshit. He's like, I'm letting him talk. As he's talking, he's hearing a little bit of a New York accent.
So that's when they figured out for sure that this guy was an undercover Fed, because he could tell by the accent, etc. And he gave the specific name that we heard from the call, that was Broward. So Kathryn then from here calls Garcia about the code name Simon, which we just heard him say here, which which I believe is the investigator, because which I believe is Garcia, is code for Garcia, because the investigator, his name was called Sammy. Well, yeah, that's and well, the undercover agent, not investigator, just to be clear, the undercover agent. And then Kathryn went on to tell everything that Charlie had told her in regards to the undercover agent. She gave the name Broward to Garcia, and in regards to Tato, to basically get more information if he knows this guy, and how he would know Tato. So that was what I got from it. And she gives the number again and says that they picked up, saying that he should call it, as it needs to stop. They are harassing the family and using her name. So put a stop to it. Again, this is where I believe that the prosecutors believe that they were setting a hit to kill this undercover agent. But I don't think that's what's happening. I think they're just speaking like this because they're trying to act as if they are that they need to tell this person that is trying to extort money. They're basically trying to go along with what the undercover agent is doing, and go to the person to basically dissuade him. Garcia calls Kathryn back. All of this is happening on the same day, by the way. Garcia calls Kathryn back and says that he's going to get it done, dump his phone, and there's no payphone. I thought this could mean two things, because he says he was going to get it done, dump the payphone, and dump the phone, and because there's no payphone around to use to call. So I thought that this meant two things, because one, either he was gonna do they know that they're not being watched. So from there, it was either he was planning a hit or recalling the previous hit that they done, because he did actually dump his phone. That the only reason why I think this was the previous hit, more likely, is because that of the communications that was brought in yesterday through Christopher Corbett, where he said that they couldn't even reach Garcia's phone, that they tried to reach his phone, etc. I think that's the context here to figure out this code, because he's basically relaying, based on that communication, from my understanding, he's actually relaying that he did the job and he dumped his phone. There's no way that they could basically trace me. I don't know, these people cannot find me. So I have no idea who this person is. Basically, it's basically confirming this person can't have known and has no connection to me, because I dumped my phone. There is no way for Rivera to have given him my number or have known anything about him. That's what I'm getting here, but it could also mean another thing, which the prosecutors were alluding to. But I really think he's talking about dumping the phone back in 2014. Garcia calls Kathryn again after calling the number that was given. So let's go to that really, really quickly, because I think that this is because Charlie calls, then he calls, then Garcia calls, then Donna calls, and they're gonna show all of that.
One more time. 305.
712-6570.
Yeah.
So I'm talking Puerto Rican, asking the shooter, I don't know what the fuck. I'm trying to call him again, though. Right, that nigga just fucking, I'm gonna call him, a real fucking person, I'm calling from my fucking phone. The thing on local. Alright,
Is, remember the other one? Did you get that one?
I don't know. It sounds like fucking, because the message sounds like a New Yorkian nigga.
Yes.
They're going to prove, I'm busy, actually, she called me back. Darling, like what?
That's what Kathryn machine said?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I swear to God.
Shut up.
Swear to God, that's what I'm puto, I'm busy, llámame para atrás. Oh, I got time. Darling. Like, what the fuck is that? Yo, are you stupid, bro? Are you some kind of fucking moron?
That's what they told you?
No, that's what the answering machine says when you call the number. Don't answer the phone.
Okay, that's weird.
That's odd. That's what it says.
Very. Okay.
Oh, they fucking are they that stupid? I have to use the number or they pretend to be that stupid so that we can think they're that stupid.
Okay.
Don't
That's
fucking know.
what in New York is.
New York, Puerto Rico. New York.
Broward.
That's your phone number. How they from?
No, but I'm saying, you check that out.
Nigga, not.
It's like
And
Jordan.
it sounds like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
All right, so we do
Let me just go quickly there.
around this time, right?
We did.
So we do have one hang-up call to the undercover around this time, right?
We did.
Okay, and did the person leave a message?
No, he did not.
Was it a known number that called?
No, it was not.
A 786 number?
Correct.
Okay. All right, and then we have the next contact here.
So after this, we know that. So after this call to the undercover agents, Katie then calls Charlie to relay everything that Garcia had told her that he was unable to reach Broward, which was the code name for the undercover agent, and Charlie basically says that, and Charlie on the call, I believe, let me just double check. I believe it's the same call. So in the same call, something that was very interesting came out of that call. And this is where Charlie says that this could be a setup because he has a big family. It could be his family, his brother, his cousins, etc. It could be anyone that's doing all of this setup. To me, when he said that, this gives the idea that they're talking about the police, in my opinion. That is a setup because they come from a well-off background, and is because of his family. He's basically saying that someone has snitched to the police. That's what I understood. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm bad with this code talk, but I'm trying to decipher a lot of what was said, and it seems to me that they are communicating that someone had snitched to the police. They have a big family. Someone had basically told something to the police, and now they are onto him, which contextualizes what Donna was saying. Don't talk to the FBI back in 2014 when Robert Adelson, who was a doctor, took the stand. So that's what I gather is going on here. Let's move on. After relaying this information to Katie, after Katie relayed this information and they spoke for quite a while, but he calls so Charlie calls Donna to let her know that there's a high likelihood that they're being investigated as the people are too well spoken, XYZ, etc. But there was something that happened that I thought, why would he share some of these things if he knows that they're being watched? Let's take a listen, because he was revealing a lot of information that wouldn't be privy to the undercover agents, would have been privy to KE, but it wouldn't have been obvious to the undercover agent. Basically, like, this is something that they didn't bring up when they were discussing all of this. Let's listen.
Give me your business card. If I can help you or hear of anything, I absolutely will. Right? That's what the answer would be. But if you go ahead and you make it seem like, you're being extorted or blackmailed or something crazy like that, then what are you going to do? You're going to run down there and start talking yourself. That?
It's so clever of them.
What's that?
It's clever of them. It's
Of course,
them.
these are not, first of all, this is not someone who started doing this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Police?
So this is not, this is not someone who's dumb. This is someone who's super smart. And they know, listen, a lot of times this is what goes on. If someone comes, but it's real odd that it's a year. The amount of time that's passed is insane. I mean, that would be like having a dental office and be like, I didn't get paid on a case from 4 years ago. Let me turn it over to collection. Like 4 years ago, how do you not realize that you weren't paid on a big case that you did 4 years ago? I mean, none of it makes any sense. I mean, that's why I think it's more that without the depth. You notice the lack of threats? I mean, there's no threats. I mean, soon you'll be fucked. Like, what does that mean? Someone's gonna write a bad review on Google tomorrow? I mean, why? It's almost like they were afraid to say that they're gonna break your leg. Like, almost like they can't go in that. They can't do that, because once they do that, they're gonna cross lines that they themselves can't cross. So, you know what I'm saying?
I just hope they don't go involved with them.
Well, listen, if they do, I mean, listen, they bothered us enough. If they bother anymore, they're not far from just going to police. And when you go to police too. I mean, and that's the other thing too, is like,
When I spoke to Derek, he said, we don't say anything, because the last thing we want to do is aggravate Wendi.
well, I don't want to scare her.
I know.
She was scared from day one. She's finally over being scared.
Right.
And
if she heard this, she would be beside herself.
absolutely. And the thing is this, Mom, is that everybody handles every situation differently. It's like somebody has a death in the family, and if they don't act devastated and everything else, well, it doesn't mean that they were responsible for it. No, everybody handles tragedy differently, or confrontation. I mean, some people, it's like fight or flight. I mean, some people are confrontational, some people are having a nice day, some people just turn their back and walk away, some people ignore you. You get, and none of them, and who's to say what's right and who's to say what's wrong?
No, nothing. Everybody's different.
There is nothing.
But that's what my original feeling, and the police of that, since we got contempt Wendi, she was.
Yeah, I don't want I don't want Wendi to then get stressed and now then worry about her safety.
Right, exactly.
So,
That's why we keep it from her. I don't want her to be upset. And, you know, I think that it really seems to just
well, it's funny. I called Katie and I said to her, listen, I said, you're the only Katie I know. You know, I know of other Katies. You know, but I've known you a long time. I don't know if they keep referencing you and I told her, so if I'm wrong and if they're referencing somebody else, if it is a common last name or common first name, I said, they didn't tell me last name. And I said, if you're the wrong person, then I feel horrible that they're trying to bring you into this or whatever. But she told me she had somebody call, and the voicemail wasn't set up before, and then she called a couple times actually. She lost her number, she called a couple times, and then it was on, and then the voicemail was set up, and it was in Spanish. So she has a friend of hers who left a message for that person. I think it was a guy that she had called. I don't know for sure, but I think the guy was not very happy and let the person know it on their voicemail, and basically told them on the voicemail what, you know, basically you need to stop running your mouth, or you're going to be having a very, 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 very big problem, and ask that person to give them a call. That's kind of the message I got this afternoon. And supposedly her friend was very angry, very, very angry. And the voicemail was in Spanish, and the person spoke to in Spanish, and basically told the person that what they got coming to them.
Okay, so this is why I believe they made that. I'm gonna go to the opening statements because to relay that theory back. Why that statement was made by the prosecutors to say that that they wanted to get the blackmailer killed, because here it's code talk, because we know that Katie didn't actually attempt to call the number 3 times and leave the voicemail. So from here, it does seem, or you get the impression, that they're trying to get rid of the blackmailer. But at the same time, when you're listening in context, they obviously know what's going on. They obviously know that they are being watched. So I'm going to go to the opening statement really quickly. And this is where they made the theory.
Yeah. And so Charlie Adelson then offers that the best solution might be to have the blackmailer killed, and that he's willing to pay whatever it takes. He says, so help me God, if they F with my family, it's going to be Nazi shit, because this will be done. I mean, Katie, I don't care what I spend. And after hearing that Charlie Adelson wants someone killed and is willing to pay whatever it takes to get it done, Magbanua then asked Charlie Adelson to help her out. And Charlie...
Okay, so that was... that reference is when they were at the restaurant before they even known that this was an undercover agent. So that's why they were scrambling. So in my opinion, they were actually scrambling to do... He wasn't thinking straight. He was like, based on that opening statement theory, it's proven here. We heard him say that. But my opinion is he was just panicking. Like he was just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So now that they know that they're definitely being watched, is when they now start speaking in code, as if to go through, well, to basically let them know that, hey, they want to sort the problem. They that this problem needs to be nipped under the bud, which I believe was code for Donna, you call the number. Because knowing that context that they figured out who the police was, Donna does actually make the call. I believe Donna does make the call, but not after a certain amount of events happen, because the call didn't happen until May. So on the 29th, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tri Channel. So on the 29th of April 2016 at 3:30 p.m., Kathryn and Charlie were discussing exchanging gifts. And at this time, it came out that the payments from the Adelson Institute had stopped. We remember that from the, I believe we remember that from the forgot her name, Mary Hall, I believe it was Mary Hall. But anyway, the person that done the financial accounts, I was speeded up because, but we heard that the payments had stopped in March, and they were paying off the grid. They were paying a few checks, around 5 checks, away from the institute. This is that being played out, that they were still discussing sending gifts, etc. And this was in the month of April, where they would have been paying away from the Adelson Institute when they realized that they were actually being watched. So 7 hours after this, a text was sent by the undercover agent to Donna Adelson at 2 a.m. reading, "You don't take me seriously? You think I'm playing?" So let me just quickly go to that text so that we can hear what is being said. There we go.
That's correct.
That he's procured for Garcia.
That's correct.
And offering Magbana a Range Rover.
Yes.
I want to skip ahead to May 4th, 2016. Is there another final attempt at a bump?
Yes, there is.
Could you tell us about that, please?
A text message was sent from the undercover to Mrs. Adelson's cell phone at early in the morning, late at night, 2:09 a.m.
What's the content of the message that was sent?
So the text read, "So you don't take me serious, you think I'm playing. You have some puta call me to see if I'm for real. If you think what Katie, baby daddy did for you can't come back, you're fucking crazy. I want the," there's actually I believe a $sign there. "Now, or I'm going," sorry, "or I'm going after the 100K, exclamation point."
And are there a few calls generated by that particular bump?
Yes, there was.
Could you set up SS for us?
Yes, it's the same day as the text message. Text message was, like I said, was at 2:09 a.m. on the 4th. That morning at 9:08, Katie Magbana calls Charlie Adelson.
So they got the text message somehow that same morning. Katie calls Charlie to tell her the gift is ready, and Garcia is ready also. Charlie also calls Katie to let her know that she has the concert tickets, all those things. To me, all this is just code talk to just get some reimbursements, to just keep paying for what happened, rather than, but at the same time, they were also living together and spending time together. So they were trying to disguise that maybe as a things normal couple would do. Anyway, moving on from that, what came out from that call was what came out after the call to Charlie and Katie was Charlie calling Donna after that to let her know of the plan to get rid of the blackmailer. Well, that's what I assume, that he mentions that it's best to nip this in the bud early. So get rid of blackmailer now holds a different context because they have figured out who the blackmailer is. They have figured out that they're being watched. So getting rid of the blackmailer now means it's time for you to call him and get him off the scent, or tell him to do one, basically. So Charlie calls Donna at 11:44. So fast forward now to May 5th of 2016. Charlie calls Donna at 11:43 p.m. After this call, Kathryn calls Garcia to inform him that Charlie has spoken with the parents, which of course I believe is Charlie and Donna. And Harvey, Charlie and Donna had a meeting to discuss that text message that was sent by the undercover agent. This was all on the call. This was all that I gathered from the call that was placed to Donna. Kathryn then calls Charlie on the same day, but at 2:30, I believe it was 2:30 a.m. a.m. and says that they should speak on the line rather than on their phone, which it's too late for that, basically. Charlie then calls Kathryn to relay the text message that was sent to Donna. So in my opinion, this was to let her know that the blackmailer is continuing to communicate with Donna. So immediately after the call to Kathryn by Charlie, Kathryn calls Garcia to let him know what happened. Charlie calls Donna on the 5th of May at 5:21 p.m. So this call at 5:21 p.m. was for Donna to go to the blackmailer and basically let him know that he has nothing here. So this is when Donna had called the blackmailer the same day, and let's go to that point. Let's go to it here. 1 second. Okay.
Okay, my grandchildren had my phone before, so I can do that. I'm Mrs. Adelson. Yes. My grandchildren had my phone before, so that's when I just saw that you called.
Oh, okay. You left a message on my voicemail?
Right, I did.
No.
This is my problem. You approached me on Alton Road. You handed me an article from the newspaper about my ex-son-in-law. You told me I need to call you and help your friend who is in prison. Now, at the time you did that, I didn't understand what you were talking about. I didn't call you back. Then you mail me a threatening letter. Then you send me a text message to my phone that says I'm not taking you seriously. So I am taking you seriously. And I really want you to listen to me. I have to tell you, I mean, this is important. I have been so stressed out. I have spoken to 10 or 12 people who are close friends of mine, telling them about this and basically picking their brains and asking them what I should do, because I don't know your friend who is in jail. You mentioned a name. I don't even know his name. I never spoke to him. I don't know what he looks like. I've never met him. I'm sorry your friend's in jail, but I don't know what that has to do with me.
You know exactly what it has to do with it. You know exactly what. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me. You just got to listen to me. Who
this person looks like, what their name is. I know there's a big reward out there, and if you need money for your friends, that's the way to get it. I mean, I'm asking you nicely. I don't know who he is. I am out of the loop. It is not me. If I can help, I would help. I mean, that's what.
Just like I told you, listen to me. Just like I told you that day, we know that your family had a problem up north. We know that problem was taken care of about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And we know that Katie has been taken care of. And has been taken care of. Now my brother in jail, we were in Broward together. He told me the whole thing. And he hasn't been taken care of. You know. Now, all that's being asked for is five.
Oh my
five
gosh!
days.
I do
All we're
apologize.
asking for is just 5
I
days.
do apologize. I do apologize. Let me go back. I do apologize. Damn it. I forgot to share the screen back. So yeah, my screen. Let's go back and listen to the call that was made to the undercover agents. I do apologize again. Let's listen to that.
Okay, my grandchildren had my phone before, so I.
Donna Adelson?
I'm Mrs. Adelson.
Yes.
Yeah, my grandchildren
Yes.
had my phone before, so that's, and I just saw that you called.
Oh, okay. You left a message on my voicemail.
Right, I did.
Yes.
This is my problem. You approached me on Alton Road. You handed me an article from the newspaper about my ex-son-in-law. You told me I need to call you and help your friend who is in prison. Now, at the time you did that, I didn't understand what you were talking about. I didn't call you back. Then you mail me a threatening letter. Then you send me a text message to my phone that says I'm not taking you seriously. So I am taking you seriously. And I really want you to listen to me.
I'm listening.
I have to tell you, I mean, this is important. I have been so stressed out. I have spoken to 10 or 12 people who are close friends of mine, telling them about this and basically picking their brains and asking them what I should do, because I don't know your friend who is in jail. You mentioned a name. I don't even know his name. I never spoke to him. I don't know what he looks like. I've never met him. I'm sorry your friend's in jail, but I don't know what that has to do with me.
You know exactly what it has to do with. You know exactly what. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me. You just got to listen to me.
You need to ask your friend who this person looks like, what their name is, something, because I know there's a big reward out there, and if you need money for your friends, that's the way to get it. I mean, I'm asking you nicely. I don't know who he is. I am out of the loop. It is not me. If I can help, I would help. I mean, that's what.
Just like I told you. Listen to me. Just like I told you that day. We know that your family had a problem up north. We know that problem was taken care of about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and we know that Katie has been taken care of. And has been taken care of. Now my brother in jail, we were in Broward together. He told me the whole thing, and he hasn't been taken care of. You know. Now, all that's being asked for is 5K. That's all we're asking for is just 5K. And he told me everything, and I know everything. I know who's involved. I know everything, and I'll get the 100K for myself.
You know,
All I ask is to send the 5K. Everybody knows what's going on.
I don't, you're saying everyone knows. I know I lost my ex-son-in-law. I did not have anything to do with it. That's why I said, ask him
That's what my brother Tato told me. He told me everything when we were in jail. He told me everything and who was involved. I know everything.
Well, I don't. That's the problem. I am telling you, it's not me. It's not me. I have had a year of aggravation, a year and a half of aggravation over this. My daughter, my grandchildren. It is not me. And when I asked my friends, what do they think? They said, well, this person needs to get a description of you because of what you look like, or it's not me. I don't know who caused this. It wasn't me. I mean, I don't know.
I'll tell you, just like that day when I talked to you, this is not going away. This is not going to go away because Tato told me everything. He wasn't being taken care of. He needed the 5K. Send 5K. That's all we were asking for. Don't do that.
I don't know who Tato is. You don't understand.
We know you don't know who Tato is, but you know who Katie is. And you know the contacts Katie has. And she has, listen to me, let's stop fucking around. Let's stop fucking around. Okay? You know who Katie is. And you know that Katie has somebody that knows Tato. And they took care of a problem for you people. That's just the bottom line. The bottom line is you know who the fuck Katie is.
Look, I don't.
I'm no more than Mr. No, I'm not fucking around with you. You know who Katie is. You know that they took care of Katie and her people. Nobody's taking care of Tato. I know you don't know who Tato is.
No,
but we know who all of you are. And this ain't going away.
You know what?
So I can give you you want to send the 5K?
Here's what you need to do. You need to go and...
Don't tell me what to do. I know what to do and I'm doing it.
You're looking for money. Get $100,000 or whatever whatever the reward is. It isn't me. You have got the wrong person. That's why I said ask your friends.
You're Donna Adelson.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Well, I know. We know who's involved in all this.
Well, that was the call, and I thought that this was the... I do think that I'm going to explain, I'm going to give my thoughts in the end when I go through all of this, but she, of course, says that she gives him... And she gives him nothing basically and says, look, just go get a reward. Just do what you have to do, basically. Like, she doesn't know anything. I have a lot to say about that. I have a lot to say. But continuing on, let me just quickly finish off with what the presentation of the evidence was, because they went straight to May, but they left a lot of time out from April 29th. So they went back to April 20th to show that at this point they did figure out, well, they being Charlie did figure out that it was the undercover agent for sure. So Donna, they went back to before I missed out something. So after calling the agents, Donna calls Charlie to let him know that he had spoke with the agents and with the undercover agents, and says that they had talked for 8 minutes and he should hear the call. The prosecutors made it a point to highlight that she didn't call the police after hearing this. She didn't call the police to basically report that someone had been blackmailing, because if you didn't know this and you're being extorted, that would be the first thing that you would do. That's a great point to highlight by the prosecution. And they also highlighted that Donna had recorded this call. They said that they have the proof, or they have enough evidence to believe that she downloaded an app that allowed her to record the call, which becomes relevant because Donna did tell Charlie after the call that he should hear what happened with on this particular call. Then on the April, now going back to the April 30th of 2000, before this call was made by Donna, Charlie had called Kathryn to inform her about Donna communicating with the undercover, and this is when he had and this is when he had let them know that it's basically the cops. So Donna had not communicated with the FBI, with the undercover agent yet. Of course, we know that, but he was saying this. He was saying this to show that he was saying this to show that they intend to basically, that she intends to basically go to go and speak with the undercover agent. Charlie also says that he has a CD and is going to be a mic drop moment, and he was also saying things like Potbelly Pig, all of those things. That all this means that he knows that it's the police, and he basically figured it out, and he has proof that he has proof that he's the police, that it's the police. Charlie calls Donna at 6:18 p.m. and they were discussing the price. Well, they were discussing the price in what the hitman wants. Basically, they were proposing likely 10K. Should we offer him 10K? Sorry, not the hitman, the undercover agent. They were proposing 10K, etc. So at this point, you get the idea that Harvey may have told Donna, let's not pay him anything, let's not do anything to make this go quiet. Go and tell this blackmailer to basically go and get the reward, basically call the bluff. So after the audios was played, this was when the wiretapping had basically there were this. They still go on. Anyway, moving on. So the state highlighted that the payments had stopped on the 16th of May 2016, and the payments to basically Kathryn, basically all of that has stopped at this point. And they had got a subpoena to go to the Adelson Institute to try and get the records, and they are now coming good with the testimony that he gave, that I believe he gave in regards. Was it him? I can't remember who gave the exact testimony, but someone had basically said that they tried to get a subpoena and it failed the first time. So they had to come back. So the reason why it failed is because one of the employees had called Charlie, and Charlie said that he can't give the subpoena anyway. That is Harvey's company. He's supposed to be the one to give the subpoena, and that did end up happening. The state also highlights that Kathryn has never visited the Adelson Institute while being surveilled, and this was to basically show that, because there was a mention of going to the Adelson Institute to basically pick up the money, etc., but that never actually happened. So that was one of the clues that they know that they were onto him, and they were speaking in code about the business. And so I believe at this point, let me just play this one last clip. And they were at Donna and Charlie were at the restaurant, and they knew at this point that they were being followed. So the one thing that made it hard to basically follow all of this is how the prosecution would play about with the would play about with the timeline for narrative's sake. But hopefully I have put it all into context on this stream.
That's correct, I do.
Okay, and this call L.1 on State's Exhibit 99 is shortly after that, or maybe during that. Could you tell us?
Is this 1695?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's after the Matsuri meet, correct? Between Charlie Adelson and his father, Harvey Adelson, and this call was between Charles Adelson, Harvey, and also his mother, Donna Adelson.
All right.
Back here, and I'll probably be there in 2.5 hours.
Okay. It's kind of maybe, maybe just stay a little bit later. It's different. It's not going to be late.
No, I can always talk to that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
All right. I'm not gonna be able to go through this because I don't want to leave this stream too long. But essentially, this was when we don't know the date of this. I don't know the date of this particular time, but they were discussing that they have been investigated. But I want to go back to Donna's call to the undercover agent. I personally believe, even though she did all of that, there is enough here to basically show that she had full knowledge that she was being watched. And I think the prosecution, even though it does, I do agree with the trial channel, it does help Donna because she does refuse the money. She does say go, all those things. But the foundation has been laid so expertly to show that she's only doing that when she had figured out that is the police, that is the cops, that she may not have done that if she did not have that knowledge. The only way that she was able to figure that out is because through Charlie, he was able to discuss with so many people that was involved. Katie, Garcia, all of those things. Garcia calling the Adelson Institute and that message going back to Donna to basically show the hitman, etc., shows her full knowledge of the hitman. It shows that they did discuss with the hitman and he doesn't know what's going on, basically. So based on that understanding, based on the timeline that was given to try and piece us all together, it just seems to me that her actions doing all of those things has completely undermined the recording that we got to see in regards to the agent and her telling the agent to just go for the reward. Had she done that, maybe the minute that she received that, maybe it would have a lot more weight, and then act later. Say that first, act later. No, there's no point. But I will give her the benefit of the doubt. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt in the sense that she's a rich woman. You are allowed to try and find out what's going on, who could be responsible for this. Is this actually a real blackmail? Is this the police? At the same time, why would you do that if you have nothing to do with the depth? How would I handle this? The first thing I would do, I wouldn't call the police either. I would literally just say, listen, I don't know who you are, but I'm not doing this. Like, go to the police. Go do what you have to do. And then from there I will start having my hands in every pie. And then I don't know, that's what I would do to at least, I don't know, but it will still lead back to me. But at the very least, how can you tell that I was, in charge of all this? If anything, this does show that it was likely, and I'm trying, I don't even know. Like, if anything, this does show that it was likely Charlie. It was more on Charlie than Donna. But Donna getting Charlie to do all this running around, she clearly knows who Kay is. Like, she knows who she is. So from I agree with this. The trial attorney says the police would have been a better option for her. I agree with this, because if she had gone to the police, and basically made a police report, of course they would have opened an investigation, and then the police may have. I don't know how the departments talk with each other. Maybe the undercover officer may have message the department to say, hey, this is actually an undercover work. We're working this blah blah. So don't do anything. Maybe I don't know what kind of worms, but it would have helped her case, at least, that she did call the police and she did try to get it done. But at the same time, if it was a blackmail, you would try and figure out the best thing she can do at this point is to basically try to argue that she was trying to plan a litigation because extortion. She was trying to gather enough information to show that they were being extorted. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But based on all that I've seen on on this particular day, with the whole wiretaps and everything, just trying to put together the state's theory, I think they are on the right track. But if we are looking at Donna Adelson's actions alone, away from Charlie, because that's who the trial is about, Donna, can you honestly conclude that she had a part to play before, with everything before the crime? That is the main question that's come out here, because to me, it seems like you could make the argument for Donna that maybe she found out all of these things out after the fact. That Charlie had planned all of this. Charlie and Wendi had planned all of this to make it seem like the parents had been in it with them, so that if they go down, everyone goes down. They have some kind of leverage over them, etc. Maybe you could make that argument. Maybe. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying an argument could be made there. Maybe. If you want to put Donna to be the person that has been orchestrating all of this. Can you find her guilty to actually going through that actual play? I mean, like I said, this trial is similar to the trial that happened in the same state with Sheila Agee, and she was convicted for life based on a text message to the son where she sent the address where the girl works at and says, go kill her. Like, I believe that was the thing, like, go kill her. But in the same text messages, she was saying, you are losing your head, you're too mad, all those things. But she wasn't basically going to stop him. So, but she still gave the address. So that was enough. That was enough to go and basically convict her of that first degree murder. Is this the same thing here? Is there any connection to show that Donna had actually sent a message to Charlie saying, hey, get this done? Any communication from Donna to Charlie to instruct him to do all of this? I have to look back on my notes to be 100% certain before I could say yes or no, but I do think that evidence is a little thin right now. But, and this is a big but, it is that $5,000 for the TV that puts her right back into it, because she knows something. So is that enough? She knows that the son was going to carry out the hit. Is that enough? The son was the first person to call. Is that enough to think that is that enough to tie her in? We don't know. But anyway, I think she had the motive to set in motion. Remember of course, is the part I'm talking about is the actual is the actual going to the hitman, etc. Like actually instructing Charlie to do it. And to me, like I do believe that the TV and the $5,000 is kind of shows that connection. I don't think it's strong though, but it's only day 5. Day 6, we still have a lot to go. There's cross-examination tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow to go through the Day 6 recap. Today, I know it was just one witness. It was a bit mundane, going through all the details and trying to put it all into a nice cohesive timeline. I hope I did that. I hope that you were able to follow my recap, because I was trying to make it a bit simpler. But yeah, I hope that you found some value from this stream. Thank you so much, every single one of you, for tuning in. Thank you, Ruth and the trial channel for tuning in, as well as the lurkers that may not have discussed. I see you, Lexi the Law Nerd. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, every one of you, for tuning in. If you're watching this back on replay, you are the true MVP. Make sure you leave a comment in the description to in the comment section to let me know how you find the stream and what you think of this particular case. Is the state proving their case? What's going on? Let me know how you're feeling. I go by the name of Hines, your friendly neighborhood ketchup man, and I will see you tomorrow, same time at 6 p.m. Eastern time, for another catch up of the Donna Adelson trial. For now, I'll say take care, have a great evening or day wherever you are. Bye for now. Thank you everyone for tuning in for another Catch Up Court live stream. Make sure that you smash that like button, as well as hitting that subscribe button to be notified of our future live streams. We go live regularly, bringing you case updates and recaps of ongoing trials, so make sure you hurry back on the next live stream. We also have more content on the channel that you can binge on. Check out the playlist that we have showcasing all of these contents. Without further, I go by the name of Hines, your friendly neighborhood ketchup man, and I'll see you back in court.